Hi. This week we're talking about present perfect tense. You use present perfect tense to talk about an, something that happened in the past and is still happening now. So we would often use present perfect tense when we go to the doctor. For instance, the doctor might ask you, "How long have you been sick?" And you would answer, "I have been sick since last week," or "I have been sick since for 7 days," right? So the subject plus have, and then the past participle form of the verb plus the illness in that case. She has hurt her arm, right? He has hurt his leg. So again, it's the have plus the past participle form of the verb. And then in this case, an illness, although you can talk about anything with present perfect tense. Quickly, I will show you what you will do to practice this. Here's another example for you, right? This is not about being sick, right? But it's the form of have, right? I have, he, she has, right? I might say, somebody might ask you, "How long have you lived in Cicero?" If you lived in Cicero, and you could answer, "I have lived in Cicero for 2 years," or "I have lived in Cicero since 2008. This describes something that happened in the past and still continues now. All right, in the past continues now. All right. So the form of have will change depending on the person. So he has lived in Cicero for 2 years, right? She has, or Brenda has lived, like that. I have lived. You have, if you said you have lived, like that. So the form of have will change depending on the first person or second person, third person. He has lived, right? Now let's look at your work for this week. Here we go. The first thing you do is write the past participle of each verb. Many verbs that we use all the time are irregular. Most verbs, like live, you just add ed, or d in this case, lived, right? That's the past participle form. But many are irregular, many of the most common. So many of these are irregular. For instance, be, of course, is a special verb. It's used in lots of different ways, but the past participle form of be is been, right? I have been sick for 1 week, been, right? Have you eaten lunch? I have eaten lunch, right? You could say that's the past participle form. Anyway, felt. How long have you felt sick? I have felt sick for 1 week, right? And then you think of the answer for 4 and 5, right? Have. What's the past participle form of have, right? Read, save, sleep, go, right? Many of those are irregular. So you try your best. Write down the past participle for each verb. Now, when you want to describe how long something has happened, right, you might choose a length of time or a point in time. And that's when you use for or since. You use since with a point in time, and length for a length of time. So since this is a particular time, September 4th, 2000, that's a point in time. That means a specific time. So we use since. And then a length of time, like 30 days, right? We'd use for, right? This one I can remember is a little different, right? You know what? We don't use it that much, but I think you would say since I can remember. Oh man, I have been going to that restaurant since I can remember. It means what you mean is you can't remember, you actually can't remember when you started, right? I've been living in Oak Park since I can remember. Like, I don't remember the actual day that I moved in. It's been so long, right? So if something is like you can't quite remember when it would happen, you would use this since I can remember. Another form we sometimes speak would be since forever. Right? You can't remember the exact time, so you'd say, "Oh, I've been studying English since forever," which just means all the time, right? That sounds a little weird. The rest of them you can do, right? So a long time is a length of time. So I'd say for, right? August 2001 is a specific time, so you'd put since, right? And the last part of the homework is just to fill out these blanks, and then you can get a sense. So for one is, I have been tired for 3 days. Their mother has saved the medical records for 20 years. Wow, interesting. So it's have or has plus the past participle form of the verb, and then for or since. And that's how you do that. So you practice at home on the worksheet, see how you do, and when you turn it in, just you can take a picture of it and send it to me. And thank you for watching. Any questions, just let me know.